guess what? Wednesday this week start the weekend. What you say? A lot of places are closed. It's a holiday weekend. You know, some people today is a holiday. Tomorrow is another holiday, July 3rd. And of course, July 4th is a holiday. So I guess the government giving the workers these 2 days, um, the 2 day weekend. Well, actually a 4 day weekend. You know, so I gonna sit back and enjoy my 4 day weekend because my boss told me that hey, I have today and tomorrow. So after I leave the studio, I'm going to relax. You know. So good morning, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John, Christian St. Frederickstead, Big Sis, KJ, Emmy, Danny. Hey, good morning around the world. It's another Thursday. You know, every Thursday we try to have some interesting things for you. Today we have the Lions Club coming in to talk about a workshop for visually impaired individuals. They coming in about 8:30-ish. And then after 9, we're going to be having the ARP. So we got a jam-packed 2 hours. So we're going to try to monitor it. If you call in, I will give you about 3 minutes to speak. Then you got to go because we got to deal with our guests. So if you're listening, be mindful of that. Dougie, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to keep up with you.
Trying to keep up with me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Because you the man with vision.
You mean without vision?
No. You the man with vision. I'm trying to keep up with you. I love your modesty, brother, man. You know, it truly becomes you. Okay? But that doesn't mean it is necessarily distracting us from the reality that we see before us. You are a person of vision. All right.
Uh-huh.
So how the election treating you down there?
Ask me that off the air.
Yeah, that's an off the air question.
Yeah, I can't cuss on the air.
Oh my, Jared, you
Yeah,
know, you had your New Year's resolution. I thought you were doing very good on keeping the high road. I
it's one
realize
thing
you're
I can tell you, and I can tell you on the air. I do not, never have a New Year's resolution.
oh my goodness.
I have never done it. I have never done it, and will never do it.
Well, I am sorry that I misinterpreted your stated commitment as a resolution, but a commitment nonetheless to the high road. Okay?
The high
Yeah.
road,
I didn't know that you were on such shaky ground, you know? All
the high
right.
road is there now, but
A
they have
detour?
they have a turn off. We go on the lower road when need be.
A construction diversion.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good
I
thing.
no, the reason why I said that, right? I was listening to another station yesterday. I had two young men that was, I would say, is the equivalent to Fox News in the Virgin Islands.
Brother,
And
um,
I was like,
you know, this the thing, and I hope we never devolve into this thing, Gerard.
mhm,
You see, when you have a platform like a radio show, podcast, TV show, or whatever, you say something, and there are a lot of people out there that take it and run with it,
Hmm.
and they don't do any research. They just say it came out of this person's mouth, and I think that this person, by my their not my personal, but their assessment, is somebody that they can trust to be stating something that is fact and true.
Right.
I mean, when I hear someone say or see someone write that a Calypsonian write a song 4 years ago and that they get paid 200 and something thousand dollars for it, and it's like, say what? I mean, really, that ain't no different than these people coming saying you could win Publishers Clearinghouse even though you never were involved in it. Okay? I mean, at some point in time, people have to, you know, make their own decisions about things, but it starts with educating yourself. So anyhow, I heard that there was a debate the other day. I won't comment on it beyond that. And I, to the extent that it is online, I have to see if they taped it and put it online. But I heard it was a pretty distinguishing result in terms of the polling response to it. So I'll leave it at that. So for those of you who have uh, access to the internet, you could do a search on YouTube, see if by chance that it was placed on YouTube, uh, and I'll be doing that because I'm interested in where we're going and what people think and what their sense of how to deal with the
The
problems we're
radio is still
facing.
playing the theme song.
Uh,
The radio is still playing the theme song.
yeah, okay. So that's engineer work. You call your engineer. Yeah. Okay, but time is flying. I know we've got the folks from the St. Croix Lions Club coming in, and we have AARP at the top or after the top of the hour, and also we have a collaboration with UVI and the Caribbean Museum Center for the Arts or I shouldn't say no. Let's back up here. A, col- uh, a play that's going to be going on at UVI. All right, and I know that persons who are involved with the Christensen Community Theater, okay, the CMCA is another thing that I have to talk about, and that's coming up on July 25th. And hopefully, we'll have some of the students who are involved in it, as well as persons from the Caribbean Community Theater, come in and talk about that. So we're looking forward to having them on the station with us to talk about that. And we got some other folks lined up and coming in. It's nice to have folks reaching out and taking the initiative to share what's going on with the community. Now,
And it's not even on possible.
this okay.
There's nothing playing for it.
Anyhow, we have we have Siri here listening in to everything that we saying and ain't saying,
But yeah,
and
I have to
and
refresh the
and we have to be so careful that we put these gadgets in our house.
But it's because we have this up and this up. These things are off.
Okay, I'm hearing you guys over here. Okay, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay, good. Just making sure. Anyhow, so we have technology hard at work, and you're talking in your house, and talking your private business, but you never know who listening, and sometimes it's your phone, and you have to keep check of these things. Sometimes you're there and you didn't realize you pressed something and it's doing a audio recording of what you're talking. If you accidentally press send, it gone, So it's one of those things. Anyhow, our we have generations before and now who are into uh, video games, online games, various games. And when I say Dungeons and Dragons, a lot of people faces might light up. Yeah, I used to play that, or I play it, or whatever the case may be. But this play, since we're talking about play, this play at UVI is uh, based on by way of the theme, Dungeons and Dragons. And I'm really kind of looking forward to see how that is played out. It's going to be done outdoors, so they're setting up the stage is going to be outdoors, and they got a very creative approach to doing this. So I'm looking forward to having them come in and talk with us about what their game plan of how they're going to do it. Okay. Now, a couple of other things here that I just want to touch on really, really quick. We have the practical entrepreneurship program that started on June 1st and is going through July 22nd. And they have various online courses free of charge in business related matters, and such as marketing, taxes, business plans, permits. And there's nothing here that says, well, okay, you have to start on June 1st to be involved in it. So I'm just throwing that out. If you're interested in this, these are courses that otherwise you would have to engage with some professional institution, other professional institution, I should say, and pay your money. So in this case, it's free of charge, and I highly recommend that you check it out. Now, they have classes every Monday and Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m., and this is online. So it's at your convenience. You can do it from your home, from your car, from your Zen spot out there looking out on the beach, wherever.
Okay,
And there's
Ryan.
a phone number.
Okay. Good
The
morning.
phone number
Good morning.
is,
For you.
Good.
okay, the phone number is 787 756 5080. 787 756 5080. It's being sponsored by First Bank. All right. And I big them up on this. There's a lot of people interested in going into business or improving their business related skills. And here we have free of charge online courses on topics such as marketing, taxes, business plans, permits, and other things that you will need as a successful business owner. All right. Now registration is available on Eventbrite. So now a lot of people hear Eventbrite and they start thinking, oh, I got to pay for it. No, no. Eventbrite has things that on there as like a community calendar, how we do, that aren't necessarily something you have to pay for. So registration is available on Eventbrite. So even if you never saw this poster, you heard it from Doug, go to Eventbrite and look up the entrepreneurship or First Bank and see what pops up. All right. No, um, that's just one thing. Now here we've got uh, disability rights. Put out a flyer here talking about vocational rehabilitation and how will it work for me, for those people who it may be impacted. Okay, because many disabilities may qualify, including physical, mental, and learning disabilities for vocational rehab. And this is something that's scheduled for Thursday, July 9th from 12 to 1 p.m. And it's by way of Zoom. And what I would tell you is if you don't see the flyer, which has a QR code you can scan, if nothing else, get in touch with the folks at Disability Rights right here in the U.S. Virgin Islands. 340 772 1200 1200 340 772 1200, or you can email them at info at DRCVI, which is short for Disability Rights VI.org. All right. So the sooner you do that, the better. Most definitely. All right. So that's it in terms of things I wanted to talk about there. But there's an article I saw on the source, Jared. Okay. Um, and you know, when people sign up for automatic pay on anything,
Mm-hmm.
okay? When people sign up for automatic pay on anything, whether the bill is correct or is not correct, they collecting their money automatically. Okay. I say this, right? This is something I say to people about co-signing. When or because that's in essence what some people do when they say they're helping out a family member or a friend through a hard time with a phone bill or something like that, and I give the phone company their information to send the bill to and to bill automatically. I had a case of a mom who called herself helping her child, and the child stopped paying the bill, and it got to a point where it was irresponsibility, and the parents said, "Well, I ain't in this with you no more." And they told the phone company, "Take me off as a payer." And if yeah, we got it. Everything is done. It's set. Boom. Next month, boom, they get hit again. Next month, they get after that, they get hit again. Boom. They had to actually close their account to get that stopped. Now, of course, you could have sued, but when you want to spend so much money going to court, it defeats the whole purpose. So you have to be very careful about these things. But the article in the source that I saw deals with WAPA and how somebody went from a $40 bill to a $70,000 bill, a $77,000 bill now in arrears, so to speak, all because they were on auto pay. Now the executive director was, I think, very upfront in admitting the fact that
Yeah.
these meters
Mm-hmm.
make mistakes in both directions, underbilling and overbilling. But I have to say that what I know of WAPA, sometimes they're very aggressive. You get this bill, and they're quick to offer you a payment plan. And a lot of people make the mistake of going into a payment plan. The first thing you need to do is to get your history for your account. Because if your account has been there for the past 5 years and it fluctuates between $40 and $80, there is no way that you could just jump up one day, no change in appliances in the house, sometimes less people in the house and less activity, and your bill gone up. It doesn't make any type of logical sense or billing sense in that context. But that's one of the reasons why me personal, don't do automatic billing for a lot of things. All right. I set my alarms that let me know that, hey, this bill coming up 2 weeks before, 1 week before, 3 days before, boom, boom. I let technology do it for me so I don't forget and I pay my bill in that context. But it's a very dangerous thing because it's usually it's viewed as a contractual agreement between two you and the organization that you're doing it with, and then a lot of these places have a process by which you have to go through that process to stop the automatic billing. The problem with that process very often is it's very convoluted and designed to wear down the person and delay, and in the meantime, payment going out, payment going out, payment going out. Okay, so I just saw that one and I said, Devon would have a field day with this one in that context, but I hope that they get it straightened out because it's a nonprofit organization that provides a very important service to the community, and they now find themselves hobbled because money that was supposed to be there for payroll and services and everything else now all of a sudden sucked out of the organization because of an automatic billing that, from all appearances, seems to be erroneous. I mean, anyhow, Jared,
Talk to me.
I see you there quite diligent in something there. So I just call you there to see if you had
I
any
listening to you
comment on
now.
what I said. Huh?
I listening to you talk, but I
No,
was.
no, no. I just turned into you now in terms of if you had any comment on with regards
Oh
to what
no
I
no no
said.
no! I was just fixing the stream. You know, talking to the powers that be to refresh the stream and stuff like that. So all that is fixed. You know,
Okay.
I'll be multitasking.
All right. Well, I heard it had a little bit of rain in the Virgin Islands and that it was very hot for a while there.
It's still hot.
And
It's just a pass through. We didn't get that much rain. Well,
you
where
didn't
I
get it like
live,
that?
no, where I live, I didn't get like that.
Okay.
No.
Well, I hope that
Well, that's
there's more
dumb.
passing
Yeah,
through
that's dumb talking.
in the
We have Mr. Sanchez here in the studio.
okay. Well,
I
way
know.
up, how you doing?
Good man, good.
Good, good. Okay, so way up in the north here, we're looking at some really high temperatures, and everybody is on alert for that in that context. And you know, like anything else, you got to be safe when it comes to weather, whether it's storms or hot weather in terms of dehydration, so forth and so on. Uh, you got to stay on top of these things because you're gonna go out walking, take a bottle of water with you. I know Jared got his Swiss knife with him all the time, as well as his water
But
and
yes,
and and backup power and everything. You see Jared walking with that backpack. I'll tell you, um, what was that TV show? MacGyver. MacGyver learned from Jared. Okay, Jared prepared for anything. He gonna survive. He gonna do more than survive. Anyhow, so we've got the folks from the St. Croix Lions Club in the house with good things going on and in their community activities to support our community and promote the health and welfare of the people of our community. So, Mr. Sanchez, long time no see. Tell me what's going on.
I know, man. Well, we're embarking on some training here the next on the 15th, where Mr. Even we're doing the honors of teaching people how to use the white cane. So that's a good thing. I know you've been an advocate for people with disability. I thought I was going to meet you here this morning, but you're here, but you're far away. So
Right, right, right. Well, I might make a special trip to come down and see and participate.
yeah.
Definitely, you know, the we in the Caribbean are you know we've had our own evolution in these areas where you see places that don't have sidewalks where they need to have crosswalks and they need to have the markings on the road that let a person with low vision of any type to be able to know where they're standing relative to the road or a train or anything else.
Curb
And
cuts.
yeah, and so we know that every opportunity we get to make our people more independent and knowledgeable of how to interact with people who see differently from us and who move differently than us, so that they can be of greater participation in our community. We got to jump on it. That's the village creed. We got to do it.
Yeah, the, that young lady that we were trying to get a license and stuff like that.
Right, for mobility training.
Right. Well, she just signed a contract with VIU said.
Fantastic.
So,
So so tell her I can send her my consultant fee now.
well, that's between you and her. I ain't getting in between nothing.
No. You're my agent. Don't even try that one.
I thought,
Right?
I thought them boys,
Okay. See how you don't go and get me involved in thing and then say tell
me,
me it
hey,
is my business.
I say that them bullet. When people call you, you need to say, hey, listen, before I even finish speak, it's gonna cost you X amount for my assistant.
Well, I am so happy to say that it ain't gonna cost them nothing. Okay, it's not gonna
So,
cost them anything because I am happy to help. One of the things we have with these various agencies and things that you have to do is that sometimes when people work in an office, they think it's just intuitive that you walk in there and you know everything you need to do. And sometimes the way they talk to you reflects that. And in that context, whenever you can help by simplifying something so that somebody can move forward in a public service capacity, you've got to do it because, after all, they're helping you, not directly, but usually through someone that you know and care about. That's how it works. Anyhow, moving right along, Mr. Sanchez, the floor is yours.
so the floor is yours, Mr. Sanchez. Tell us about this workshop that's coming up on the 15th of July.
Good morning to the listening audience. My name is Hugh Sanchez, and I'm president of Senkoi Lions Club. I'm here today to inform you about an orientation and a mobility training that we plan to have on July 15th, and this will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And this will be held at the VIU said building that's in Orange Grove. It's just off Queen Mary Highway. As you head into public safety, is the first building there, pink building there, and the office is downstairs on the south side. A little bit about Senkoi Lions Club. We were chartered in 1966, and we have been going strong. Our motto is we serve, and our mission is to serve the needy, the homeless on the island of Senkoi. And we always take this opportunity to do whatever we can with partners and to bring awareness, to help, to aid where people need it. So that's a little background as to what we do as Senkoi Lions Club. And of course, we are non-profit, so any help we can get from the public, we always welcome that.
Okay, well let me help you out a little bit here with directions. Okay, folks, the VIU said, okay, you hear Jared talking about it all the time. So you need some good old-fashioned cruising directions here. If you're there on Queen Mary, heading west, when
Yes.
you
Yes,
approaching,
As you turn to public safety, that first building, pink building there on the right.
Right. No, but I'm saying, let me finish here. 'Cause I will give my version. I'll give you my version. And so you're heading west, as soon as you reach where the intersection there, the first intersection for agriculture, okay? Instead of turning right to go and get some lime and potato, make a left. And I got a building right there on your right, a yellow building right there on your right, yellow, brownish. But anyhow, right there you can't miss it. And when you go in that parking lot, go as far down as you can, the building as you far down there, you're gonna go down, you're gonna see a door, and when you knock on the door, this guy who could see better than me gonna come and open it for you and say welcome. Okay? How I do, Jared?
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I don't know what kind of direction that be. Say, oh, as far as you can go. All right.
Oh,
Well, I'll
yeah.
give my version. If
Okay,
you
all
head
right.
west of Queen Mary Highway, you pass the stoplight for Complex and UVI. You stop at the intersection for agriculture. You hang that left turn going to the DMV. You make that left turn, you make your first right at the entrance there, which you're going to see a two-story building on your right-hand side. You turn into that first entrance. That's the entrance to that parking lot. You follow the entrance down to the southern end. At the end of the parking lot, you will see a disability ramp leading up to a door with some tinted glasses on the door with a UVI sign. Under the UVI sign, it says VIU said with the VIU said logo. That is where VIU said is. And to give you more easier directions, if you know where Spicy Grill or Flaming Grill, formerly Spicy Grill is, it is directly across the street from Flaming Grill.
All right.
How you like them apples?
I think you're better than me. Okay? You're better than me.
I
You
don't
see,
know to find my office.
but Gerard, this is why I said you are a man of vision. Okay? I could see and I can't describe why I see as good as you. All right? Okay, good thing. Okay, Mr. Sanchez. So we're happy to have you here today, and we're happy to have the community know about your activities that are your ongoing activities in terms of your commitment to accessibility, and in this case through the white cane, empowering more people to take advantage of whether it be this training or just the ability to walk across the street and go down the road and check out something. All right.
Well, like I just said, Doug, to me, when I have the white cane in my hand, or whenever I speak about the white cane, I think of freedom. Okay? Because the knowledge of being able to use this white cane and being able to navigate throughout, the territory, whether it be it's in St. Thomas, St. Croix, on my own, that without assistance, that's what I call freedom. You understand?
Yep.
So there are people that in my case, they can't do it unless they're walking with somebody and they have their hand on their shoulder and all this kind of thing. We need to break away from that. We need to gain your confidence in being able to do things for yourself as someone who's visually impaired, because you can live your life normal. Like I've been told last week, that I make blindness look normal.
Well, I won't take it that far, but um, just a quick question.
Uh-huh.
The young lady that's involved with mobility training,
Yes.
um, and has she been introduced to the folks at the St. Croix Lions Club? And if not, maybe that's something we want to do in the process
Yeah.
and see if possible if she can even just have the opportunity to monitor or visit the training.
Well, she's going to be in the training.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't get that part of it. I didn't get that
Yeah,
part of it. Okay,
she's a
good.
keynote speaker.
Is, is that Miss Fernandez?
Yeah, Miss Hernandez.
Okay.
Okay, great. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, I didn't understand that she was actually involved. Great,
Yeah,
great, great.
she's involved in the training.
Okay, yeah. Well, that makes me feel that very very good to see that our efforts are in fact paying off because uh, one of the things that happens when you're trying to get a business license, folks, is that it used to be that you go down to a biz to the license and consumer affairs and you open up a book and you have all these different description of a business and you have to pick one, so to speak. But the reality is that there are so many new businesses being defined because of technology or whatever the case may be that you could never have a book that having all the listings. And
Right.
sometimes some people take it literally that I gotta pick one and they don't find something. And so, folks, just know that the License and Consumer Affairs is there to assist you. So, if you run into that type of a problem, talk with them because what they're interested in is not putting you in a pigeonhole. They want you to know exactly what your business is and how to best characterize it in terms of getting it into their system and facilitating. All right? Good thing.
So I want to add that this workshop can only, where it's being held, it can only hold up to 20 people. So you have to RSVP. So to RSVP, you need to call the Center of Independent Living at 340-778-7992. Like I said, 340-778-7992. They can only hold up to 20 people. If you want to maybe have a virtual option, you got to give us a call and inquire as well. Just call 340-778-7992. If we have enough people that inquire about a virtual option, we can probably make it happen. Okay, so nothing is beyond, you know, nothing is a problem. With technology these days, anything could be anything could happen.
All
So we
right.
just need to know ahead of time the amount of people, depending on the amount of people that want to attend virtually, we will make it happen. But in person can only hold 20 people. If you feel the knowledge is that you may want to learn more about it or know of, you can call, find out to see if you can get it virtually, where we can do it via Zoom, get it on your phone, your tablet, your computer, in your office. You don't have to come into our office. We have the equipment to facilitate such. Okay, so if you're listening today, like I said, we have space for 20 people in our conference room, and you have to RSVP, call the Center for Independent Living, 340-778-7992. And like I said, if you want a virtual option, you can call 340-778-7992 as well. to see if we can provide a Zoom link so you could attend virtually. But we want to know the numbers before we create the Zoom link. Okay? So keep that in mind.
Okay, one thing I noticed, and I would like to mention it, is that we have a lot of organizations who seems to be getting involved in the welfare of people with disability and homeless and so on the island. And I want to thank them for that. If it's okay, I can mention some of the people who, or some of the companies that get involved, and which I think is a good thing for the community. And first, a lot of people ask, what is VIU said? So I just want to let them know exactly. It means that the Virgin Islands Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities.
Virgin Islands University Center for Excellence.
Right. So that's basically what it means. A lot of people ask, what's that? So, and I want to in advance thank Sharon Williams. She's the Associate Director of Assisted Program Development at the UVI. She is a great help to us here in the community, and she's always reaching out and always there for us whenever we need help. So I want to thank her for that. And then we have Dr. Sheena Bitko. They also assist us in getting things done for the community. And we have Presence Healthcare. All these partners stepping up, and I think it's a good thing for the community to benefit by. So thanks in advance to all these. And of course, WSTX AM 97. Thank you. You always willing and to accommodate us to get a message out to the public, and then we thank you for that. And that's Mr. Doug Canton.
No. You see now, you're causing trouble because Gerard didn't give you the cut, I know. Okay, you can't see, but you don't give you a cut. So he's just saying about what
Well, Mr. Gerard is our master trainer on the island, and based on his experience, I think it's an inspiration. Hearing what he's saying, and the inspirations of people with the same disability to feel that they can really get help and be normal again.
You have a mic in front of you?
Yes.
Speaking to it?
You hear me now?
Is it connected?
Well, I'm hearing him well, so we didn't lose his comments. But if necessary, call the engineer and have her check it out. Okay. But yeah,
speaking to the mic.
It's always
because no, you hear them well, but somebody that's listening, they said they wasn't hearing them too loud. So speaking to the mic.
Okay, I guess you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, good thing. Well, as you mentioned, there are various organizations who are involved with assisting persons with disabilities and in community service in general, and it's great to when you see organizations, giving the other organization a pat on the back, a shout out, and everything else, because we're really all in this together. We are all in this together. So. VIU said has a role, independent living has a role. You have the folks at Human Services, whether it's Voc Rehab or that they all have a role. So the more that we have this network of people with the same goal of assisting the same or different overlapping circles of people and community needs, It's great that we have that type of networking going on to make sure that our efforts are amplified because we have collaboration. Okay.
Yeah. And I forget to mention Department of Health. I think they're doing an awesome job going around and reaching out to people in this different districts, and I think that's a good thing.
Okay. And just as an aside, in terms of public awareness, the Lieutenant Governor's office, I believe, Jared is the one that put out the notice about the battery generators. Did you ever get any more information on that, Jared?
I've been looking for some more information. They gave me a number to call. They called the number. They said they would send me an email with the form to take to my doctor. I'm still waiting on the form.
Call him again, Jared. Call him again. I mean, I'm just saying,
They
I know that you are that bulldog kind of person. So you call him again, okay? Because in essence, Mr. Sanchez, persons, whether it's a health condition or personal disability, or they have insulin in the house that they need to keep at a certain temperature and WAPA go off for 3 or 4 hours. They have these, in essence, a generator, but by way of a battery, rechargeable battery pack system that
Okay.
can assist them in meeting these particular needs. Okay. Also for people who have to have a CPAP, who might have sleep apnea, or in a very serious way, that is, different, dangerous from a health perspective, that their equipment be working, that this thing will act as a backup. So WAPA go out, they got another source of power. And in this day and age, and in that location in particular, the Virgin Islands, we have to think like that. So, Jerry, see what you can find out and get back to me, okay? If you keep running into a dead end, let me know.
Keep in mind,
And let the Lions, the St. Croix Lions Club, know so that they could go out there and roar about it too.
I was on a call
Okay.
with I was on a
Okay.
call with my partner in Florida.
All right. Yeah, he would be another one to get on top of too. Okay. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. So, Mr. Sanchez, St. Croix Lions Club.
yes, sir.
Where's your headquarters, and when do you guys meet?
Our headquarters at 110D Anna's Hope, and is opposite Public Works. It's a gold painted trailer there. And we meet on the second and the fourth Tuesday of the month. We meet there at 4 o'clock.
All right.
So
Fantastic.
anyone can, pass in and get an idea of what we do, because we're looking for members now. And so if anyone in the public interested in doing some community service, we can, you can pass in any one of those days when we have meeting, the second and the fourth Tuesday of every month. And we're happy to have you there and explain to you what we do, and invite you to take membership in the organization.
All right. And and I need to your PR guy. He's still there?
Yes.
You had a gentleman. Okay, good. I'll make a note to touch bases with him also in that regard. So definitely, we got to keep the word out there. We got to do what we can to amplify the roar of the lions in our community, because it's all about community service and giving back and helping us to uplift one another. And in that sense, I commend you guys on what you're doing. Okay, and when I say you guys, ladies and gentlemen of the Lions Club, the St. Croix Lions Club, that are doing the fantastic things that they're doing in our community.
And I want to let the public know we on Facebook. Our page is STX Lions Club, so you can go there and see exactly what we do and the projects that we undertake.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Gotta check it out. Yeah, I'm on
So-
Facebook.
Gerard, you the man. You tell me you didn't know that I frightened.
I didn't know on Facebook.
Yes, we did.
All right. Well, we know now. Okay, so we can support them online and in their outreach to the community also. Okay. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, Mr. Sanchez, I hope to be seeing you soon. I may be far away, but I don't want it to continue too much longer. So I hope
And
to be
thanks very
seeing.
much for having us. And we look forward to being here on the station again when we have a program coming up.
Yeah,
All right.
we got the White Candy celebration coming up in October.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a big one. So
October 15th.
I think that'll be our 20th anniversary or something like that. So
Yeah.
we want it to be a big thing.
So
All right. Well, let me start.
we'll block off Christians then, don't they say?
We stay in FedEx.
Then what is it? I thought we were going to block off for Meadows.
All right. All right. Good thing. Well, let me start planning from now. Okay, let me
Yeah.
start planning from now. So keep us abreast of what the game plan is and what we're gonna do, and any way that we here at WSTX can help. And our doors are wide open, and our megaphones are prepped and ready to blast the message for you. Okay.
We already have Senator Frankie Johnson on board already. So
All right. Good thing.
yeah.
Good thing.
So,
The more the merrier. The more the
yes,
merrier.
yes.
The more the merrier.
The Marshall is in town. It's at the top of the hour. It is now 9 a.m. in our studios. We're gonna take a break. Gonna pay some bills. Keep the mics on, the lights on. We'll be back after these messages. When we get back, we'll thank the Lions Club for being here.
All right, Mr. Sanchez.
Thank you.
All right. Good thing.
Stand up for your community. Stand up for your future.
So I'm going to do my
We are back. We are back. We are back. We are back. We gotta pay some bills. So every now and then we gotta take that break to let you guys know what makes this possible for us to be here. Dougie, you still online? Or you get drop out?
No, he's there.
I say, yeah, I ain't back, I front.
Jesus Christ. All right, Mr. Man.
Not
Smart.
fronting, I front.
All right, smart Alec.
All right, yeah, man. I just hear kind of, you know, May is on her way, so ARP is on the way, and I had the pleasure and privilege this morning to sit and speak with my mom, and I was kind of talking about the date and so forth and so on, and she's you know she was saying, is there something significant about the date that I was discussing? I said, well, yeah, there's something very significant about it, um, politically and otherwise. One is that we're here to experience it. That's the first one,
Mm-hmm.
and I reiterate my commitment to the community, figuratively and literally, that I know it's election season. I want everybody to know I run it for life. Okay, so if you have any input that you can put a vote in there somewhere, some kind of how that gonna make a difference, definitely just know I run it for life. Okay, all right, good thing. Yeah. It's not as simple as it was before, when days when I had Bully here by my side as a running mate. But I have made a commitment to carry on. All right. Okay. Good thing. So we're talking there about some of the things that are going on in the community, and I want to kind of look beyond the community because what's happening nationally and internationally, everything touches us. They sneeze, we catch a cold, and
No.
one, huh?
When they sneeze, we catch the flu.
The flu. Okay. All right. One a weird strain of the flu that got everybody in a conundrum. Yeah. But
Yeah, because not cutting you off, but I've been getting reports of people going to the grocery stores and the shelves are empty.
hmm well,
The sh-
we're
and
all the folks who are promoting agriculture and sustainability and whatever, everybody on the outside see this going on and see folks talking about this, and it's like, what are they talking about? Okay, I'll listen more tomorrow. You know that song by the Winans, Tomorrow. Everybody think they have tomorrow. Well, the fact of the matter is, if this so-called peace deal in Iran blow up again, it is it going to get worse, not worse. It's already worse in the context of a lot of what we need comes in on a boat.
hmm
And if it's needed, like we saw this happen with Maria did what they did here, but then they went up north and did what they did up there, and all of a sudden we need lumber and nails and batteries, and it's like, okay, well, you have a 6 months wait because they need it up there too.
hmm
and this is the reality that people need to look at is even if you're getting your paycheck or your retirement check or whatever, if you cannot get the things that you need where you are, then where do you go from there? Okay. Um, the we depend on boats, we depend on air travel, all these different things. So we have to start thinking in terms of how we are going to cope with these changes in the community. I saw that an announcement of VI cargo rates going up. Well, I understand that because the cost of fuel gone up and they got to run their boats.
Listen,
Yeah.
everything going up. The cost of what do you call that? The food delivery, Boomerang Express.
Mm-hmm. Boomerang
That
Eats
yeah, no, it's Boomerang Express now.
or it's Express. Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I got a call. He was supposed to come into the studio, and because he was away, he was supposed to be back. I got to check with him to see. All
Okay.
right. Um, but when you check on it, it tells you, oh, they have a charge for extra charge for fuel and this and that, and even on the ride share, the price has gone up a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
of course, because the gas is going up.
Yep.
So as long as everything is what people don't understand is everything is tied in to the fuel.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well,
you oh, why is this? Diesel is somebody was saying diesel like $7 on change a gallon.
well, Gerard. Okay. One of the things in this world is that businesses try to keep people dependent on their business. Okay, that's just a reality. Uh, the fact of the matter is, we live in a place that we have an abundance of sunlight,
Hmm.
and we have an administration that's trying to kill the electric vehicle business.
Hmm.
So when you think of it that way, the idea is to keep us tied to fuel so that their billionaire friends can continue to reap their profits through the oil industry.
Of course,
But the joke of this is, and I'm saying, I'm talking as somebody here, step back and watching the different things that's going on. China was touched by the war because they get oil, and they use quite a bit of it also. But they were able to mitigate that because they have invested heavily in solar, wind, and other alternative technology. While the U.S. is basically trying to shut down solar and wind and all of these other things, and I'm saying, well, but that doesn't make any sense. If you got a backup plan and a backup to the backup plan, that's always a better way to be than to say you can depend on this one thing. Because at some point in time, to the extent that the rest of the world start figuring out alternatives to energy and transportation and so forth and so on, that the demand for oil to some degree is going to go down. Unless it's artificially inflated, it's going to go down. And all of these businesses that, they're high on the hog now, going to find themselves in a situation where financially they're going to be on the back foot. But anyhow, as it relates to you and me, the ordinary person out there in our community and what they're trying to do, if you have an electric water heater, you need to put a timer on it that fits the time that you need hot water. if you know that your hot water usage is in the morning, you like to take a warm or hot shower, and put a timer that says that water heater turns on an hour before you project that you're going to need hot water. Otherwise, the hot water heater heats up, cools down, heats up, cool. All day it's doing that, and it pulling serious current, right? So it is in your best interest to spend $75, let's say, on the switch to 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 control your water heater. That's going to save you $600 over the course of the year. I mean, hey, it's called sacrifice. If $75 is $75 you don't have, you got to figure out a way how to get it, because you could sure use $600 more in your budget. You got to figure out a way to do it, and that's how we have to think. When you fly over some places in the Caribbean and even in Asia and whatever, and you see these drum on top of the house and everything else, and you say, "Oh, look how backwards they are," or this, that, and the other, well, the drum there on top, which means they have gravity flow. So, power or no power, they got water can run in the house. And number two, the water is nice and warm, if not hot, because of the system. And then we figured out, okay, so we could do solar water heating. And so somebody comes now for $3,000 to $5,000, want to sell you a solar water heater.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And now, however you do it, solar water heating just makes sense, because when you have to heat up water from a cistern, okay, water from a cistern is cold. If you didn't know, Jared, it's cold. So there's a
Yeah.
whole lot more energy got to go into getting that water from being cold to warm, much less to being hot. But
Mm-hmm.
if you have solar water heating, even if the water is just warm, even lukewarm, that
Mm-hmm.
cuts in half the amount of energy necessary to go from lukewarm to warm to hot.
Right.
So you're talking again a major savings in terms of energy consumption, because most of these water heaters here are what? Electric. Now, I don't want to be like gloom and doom,
Okay,
but
but I think
our guest
yeah,
is coming in. Yeah, I know. Let me finish this thought. Okay. But folks, I want you to think about the reality that WAPA has been subsidized to a certain degree. What happens when that subsidy goes away? Think about it. So it's in our best interest to start thinking in terms of change. Okay. All right. Jared, you in charge. We got a guest here. I know just a minute ago they were parking up downstairs and getting ready to walk in here and
oh, you're
and
watching it.
come and
Well, before they
tell
get
us
in
all
here,
about
I do my due diligence and let the people know that if you or your loved ones have considerable hearing and vision loss, the I Can Connect program is for you. The I Can Connect program is a program otherwise known as the Deafblind Equipment Distribution Program. It is funded under the FCC. Okay, you can call 340-692-4267 or visit icanconnect.org. That's icanconnect.org, to learn more about this program. It's a program that you can get an iPhone, iPad, or computer for free. Okay, the operative word in this sentence there is free, FREE, so that you can, talk to your family and friends, distance communication. So, like I say, and it works. I have a few clients that I deal with, and they're happy with their equipment. So,
AARP's here. She'll be in just a minute.
okay. So, if you want to know about this program, just give us a call, 340-692-4267. 7. Yeah, you said on the UBI working for you. Good morning.
Good morning.
We have AARP in the house.
It's May Adams Cornwall.
Yeah,
I heard that.
Oh,
Don't be trying to talk no secret inside my studio. Good morning, cuz.
yeah, he can hear his ear long.
say it again.
His ears are long.
Who's that?
Doug.
Doug Canton.
Oh, where is he? Oh, hi. Hi, Doug.
I said, don't be talking no secret in my house, but hey, Adams Cornwall.
We want to talk to you. Let me know.
All right, cuz. There we go.
Shut off the mic.
You see what I have to deal with?
Uh-huh.
This guy here is something else. Anyhow, good people. So welcome
Yes.
to WSTX, me again.
Thank you. Thank you, cuz. Mhm. And good morning to everyone.
Okay. Well, ARP is always welcome in WSTX. We keep our doors wide open, and we definitely want to hear what's going on with ARP. It's from the elder justice to the grant monies that you guys got and we're giving out to these different organizations. I mean,
Right.
every time you turn around, ARP in the mix and doing positive things in the community.
Absolutely. And I can speak to some of it. I'm a volunteer, and I also work with the Advocacy Council. And Advocacy Council works very closely with the legislature, and they convene all of the affected or relevant government agencies together when it comes to legislation that is protective of elderly, seniors, shut-in, disabled, those folks that need our advocacy. And so we push for certain legislation, we show up, and we make sure the cause is understood, and we get the support we need. We also just did the first part of the Elder Justice Summit on the estate planning. You know, how do you ensure that you have the right documents in place? We also had Human Services there. They spoke about elder abuse and, you know, how we spot it and how we address it. And we talked about how the community needs to get together to make sure that we are noticing things like that and helping the powers that be spot it when it exists. You know, we've empowered several of the financial agencies, banks, etc., to acknowledge or not acknowledge, but to when they suspect fraud, financial fraud from one of the elder or senior customers, that they would have the right to report it. And matter of fact, it's almost an obligation to report it, like you would any other kind of fraud or illegal activity. And then in terms of the challenge grants, what I can say about those, and I think Troy did an eloquent job on our website, and that some of the folks who were recipients of those grants also mentioned, you know, what they're doing. But there's like about, I think, 10 or 12 organizations that got them. And one of the hallmarks that Troy speaks of is that we give out the most number of challenge grants in our community. He has been able to push that to the limit, where when we send up the recommended projects for challenge grants, turns out that almost all of them are approved, as opposed to, okay, we have a cutoff point and we can only do 5 or we can only do 6. They pretty much do all of them, and we have had that success. So what I came here today for, though, and by the way, the Elder Justice Summit does have a part 2 and a part 3. Part 2 is going to be in July. I don't have the exact date, but we'll be sure and get you a flyer with regard to that. And then I believe part 3 will be in August. It was extremely well attended. As a matter of fact, a little more well attended than we anticipated. So we were making a lot of accommodations for everyone to be able to fit in the room and, be able to enjoy the meals that we prepared and had available for them all free of charge. And so we're hoping that the next one will be equally attended. We may have to arrange for a different setup in the room so that the tables don't take up so much of the space and we get more chairs in. But we do invite the community to come out, and perhaps before the end of this, I can locate the time frame. But again, we'll provide the station and you, Doug, with when part 2 is going to happen.
All right.
Okay. So today we're talking about disaster preparedness. Every year, AARP has stepped into that arena, although it is not necessarily a national priority. It certainly is a Virgin Islands priority. And I have to say, kudos to the office again, Sherilyn and Jackie Heidegger, Sherilyn Parks, and those folks. They actually work for the office, Rebecca, Pamela Toussaint, and they saw the need and elevated the need and have made a mark again, a unique mark in the national arena of having this as a priority, disaster preparedness. So I believe this may be the third one. I began volunteering again more in earnest about 2 years ago as I was winding down from work, and then jumped right in again. I have been a member for years and have volunteered before. And I also want to just go ahead and make a call out to those who are AARP members that you come and join us. There's a local chapter as well as there's volunteers in the state office. So if you're interested, give me a call. If you don't have my number, just call the station and somebody will give it to you. So on July 7th in St. Croix, which is next Tuesday, and July 10th in St. Thomas, next Friday, at the UVI Medical Simulation Center on St. Croix and the UVI Innovation Center on St. Thomas, we will be holding a disaster preparedness summit. Again, it's free of charge. We will feed you lunch. It is from 9 to 12:30, and we anticipate we'll be on time with that. So please do come out. We'll have breakfast available and then some opening remarks by Jackie Heidegger. And the agencies that are going to be there to present will be Vitima. At this time, Dara Jashin is listed as the speaker, and he has in fact attended in the past and been available to present. And what they do is they look at the seasonal updates and what stages of the disasters are and what to do when. And more importantly, they plan now to introduce the CERT program, or I would say to reactivate the CERT program. And what CERT is, CERT, is a Community Emergency Response Team. I have been a member of that, both on government side as well as in my personal pursuits, because it's important that communities respond before someone else gets there. I remember FEMA had a presentation, and while I was working with FEMA, I joined the team from DC at that presentation, and its title was "You Are the Help Until the Help Gets There." So sometimes that responsibility does rest on us, and it would be very good if you were trained in CERT to be able to help your family, your neighbors, your community at a time when the resources may be strained. So I advise folks to listen up to Director Dashin and perhaps even join the CERT training, which is going to be July 17th to the 19th. I believe they will put out some information on that soon. Next, we're going to have the Department of Health, and currently we have Commissioner Justa Encarnacion is going to be present, of course, talking about the role of the health agency in terms of before, during, and after a disaster. As we know, there's preparation, but then there's also response in times where people's need medical evacuation, either during or after a disaster. So she'll be covering some of those topics. Of course, there's a much broader amount of topics, but we have to keep it within the scope of the time frames that we have. So we kind of want to just focus in on some of the key topics. And so that will be what Commissioner and Commissioner will be speaking of. And then we're gonna move on to Department of Human Services. I want to just make a little injection here that before we do that, we actually have a stretch break. And Commissioner Avril George is the one that usually leads that. At least I've been there twice now, and it's very popular. So I believe she's off island and will not be able to conduct it, but we'll still make sure you have a lot of fun in that stretch break. So please do come and join us, even if you just come for that. No, I'm just joking, but it is a fun time. We do want to make sure that you stay awake and feel energized, and so we do that stretch break. But for the Department of Human Services, Yvette Henry will be representing Commissioner George, and she's the Community Affairs Coordinator. And many of you may have seen her in the legislature recently with the Committee on Disaster Recovery, headed by Senator Maurice James. And she did speak on some of these topics in that hearing as well, and more importantly, about the resources that are needed for them to to carry out this role that the agency has. Again, before, during, and after. We don't wait for the storm or the disaster to hit. We have things we need to be doing ahead of time. So they have established the emergency shelters. They'll be bringing information on that, some of the conditions of those shelters in terms of whether they can accommodate handicap, or whether they can accommodate pets and things of that nature, and what is expected of you when you bring your to-go bag, because you should all have a to-go bag for when a storm hits, you grab it and you go. So those type of things, all agencies will be telling you a little bit about that, and there'll be handouts that will ensure that you have everything you need in your go bag. But when you get to a shelter, those are the kinds of things that are going to be important for you to know, and how you get there as well, because sometimes transportation is also a need. So they're also going to be talking about the registry, and the registry is extremely important. There's an elder, dependent, adult, and disabled person disaster registry that is kept by the Department of Human Services. It allows them, I think they said they have like I don't want to misquote the number, but it might be as much as 200 people registered. That's not a lot, in my opinion. I'd like to see more people register. It is private and confidential information, and we understand that.
What the problem is, a lot of people don't know where to register.
Where to register?
Yeah. So
Okay.
they register. I know they had a form to fill out at the voters registration office
Okay.
and at the DMV.
Okay.
That's where they had the forms the last.
Well, that's good to know. I didn't even know that, but that's good to know. The more places we have them that people frequent, the better. I believe it may be available online as well, but I'm not sure in terms of being able to download it and print it out. But certainly we'll have some available on Tuesday, no doubt. They'll bring those, because that's exactly where I completed mine. When I went to the summit, they had it there, and I filled it out.
Okay.
Prior to that, I wasn't even aware of it, and I think
It came
even
out,
it.
it
Sorry?
came out about 5-6 years ago.
Yes, it's been a while, and to be honest with you, someone like me kind of walks around thinking I don't need to be on it. But trust me, we all need to be on it.
Well, I'm on it. I'm not a senior yet, but
Yeah.
I'm a blind individual that live alone.
Correct.
So
That's why we have disabled person disaster there as well. And dependent adult, if there's someone who cannot get out, shut in, that needs somebody to help them, that information as well. I mean, that type of person is listed on the registry as well. And the registry, they will call you. I don't know the exact protocol, and she'll speak to that on that day. But I know that I offered in a conversation with Commissioner George that if there's any need to assist them in making calls, not just in disaster times or after we get the notice that a hurricane is on the way, but even in the blue sky times, because we want to make sure that their information is correct so that when the disaster time comes, we're not calling the wrong number, have the wrong address, and things like that. But also, there may be other quote unquote disasters that we're unaware of. It could be a busted pipeline. It could be, it could be so many different things. It could be food shortage or loss and different things like that that we want to be able to check when we call on the registry that everything is going well as we verify your information.
And that's why Act 86 came into play, but was never implemented. And when I sent a message to the finance chair on the floor to ask our objection about it, he said it's no longer funded.
What is that? What is that act? Please.
Act 86 is the Disability Integration Unit, supposed to be under by FEMA. And so it was signed into law under the 34th legislature.
Okay.
We're in the 36th legislature.
Okay.
So
We'll make a
4 years
note.
has gone by.
We'll make a note for the Advocacy Council.
4 years has gone by. And I keep calling. The author of it was Blyden, Marvin Blyden.
Okay.
Co-author was Genevieve Whitaker and Senator Bolkus.
Okay.
It was in Bolkus committee that we went. I testified on it, on the bill.
Okay.
And I used to work in the legislature at that time.
Oh, okay.
That's how I knew. That's how I know of the bill. I helped
Okay.
on the bill.
Okay, beautiful.
So they had the funding.
Mm-hmm.
Senator Whitaker had the funding. She asked if they needed any more funding, and they and nothing never happened. And when they was questioning our objection, I think it was last week in the finance committee.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was.
Sent a message.
Actually, I think it was this week. Well, no, it might have been in his budget hearing as opposed to.
The budget
Yes,
hearing.
yes. It was last week. Yeah.
So I sent a message through Senator Bolkus,
Okay.
and he said, well, he had to leave, but he sent it to the finance chair.
Okay.
And I heard when I asked him the question, and he said, oh, it was funded, but now it's no longer funded. It's an unfunded, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I'm like, so what do you want it done?
Well, usually all that means is they just didn't appropriate anything to it. Okay, they spent what they had originally, and it didn't get any more in the next go round. But my question, and more importantly, is how was the reaction of the senators? Because they have the ability and the capacity to say, okay, we're gonna move this money from A over here and put it in B over there, so they can have some funding.
I heard they asked the question, like, how much funding you need.
Okay.
And, so we only get that funded, and And I was like, yeah, you guys need to have this funded, because this has been 4 hurricane seasons since this bill was signed into law, and it has nothing was done.
Well, the important thing is you spurred on a solution, because a lot of us can definitely articulate complaints and needs and gaps, but we can't sometimes come with a solution. So that's the important thing, and that's what we hire people to represent us for as well. So I'm hoping that comes through, and that is funded.
Yeah,
so
I'm hoping that now that and you could take it to
AARP. Yeah. Yes, and definitely to the Advocacy Council. I will do that. I will
push it, because it's something. It's 2 employees, one person Corey, one person Thomas. I think it's supposed to fund the employee and get them a vehicle, equipment, and all this kind of stuff.
Okay.
And the funding was there, like I said, and they never hired anyone. They didn't do anything, and they just let everything go.
Well, let's hope the next time we talk, we got some funding when we hear about the budget being passed, and we have some solutions on the way.
I actually have called the Senator Blyden, and I reminded him about it. He's like, yeah. I'm going to check into it and give you a call back. I never hear from this guy again.
Okay, once again, when you're into the politics of it, and if you can't get down road A, you switch and go road B.
Yeah.
If you can't get, you go switch and go road C.
Moving on.
You're just trying to find solutions.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's results that matter.
I keep moving on.
Yeah.
So that's why I pull puzzle since to get the question on the floor. And so
That was good. That was good. And more of us need to get engaged that way. You know, I'm glad that they allow them to have their phones to get the community's input, because sometimes, you know, we don't get to talk with them and see them as much as we'd like to. They're
Yeah.
busy, but if on the floor when it's really ripe and they need to know what your concerns are, that's the time to tell them.
Yeah, send them a text.
Exactly. So we just informed everybody, or give everybody the 411 on that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have the number, text them when they're on the floor.
So another speaker, which I think is a very forward leaning and important speaker, is going to be the director of the BI Energy Office, Kyle Fleming.
Mhm.
Kyle is coming basically to cover some of the tips and the best practices of how families can help stay powered, informed, and safe. And even information on the portable battery program, because as you know, that's about
Yes.
keeping those critical things, medical needs and so forth,
Yeah, I've been trying to get on
protected by having battery power. So he'll be there on Tuesday to speak, and Friday to speak about that. And I believe he's coming.
Let's see who
And
this is.
the
Go ahead, finish.
okay, well, the last speaker is yours truly, myself.
Uh-huh.
I was recruited to speak about something called community asset mapping. It is something I had some familiarity with. I've had to bone up a little bit, but basically I'm going to tell about what it is, how we map the things in the community that are necessary to survive and to prepare, but also that we look at what are the needs that are not there, what are the gaps, how do we fill them, how do we begin to have this conversation so that we can generate maps that we know, yes, we have strengths here, but we also have weaknesses. How do we deal with the weaknesses? Maybe the community next door has that strength. And so this is about us looking back to the days when communities and neighborhoods used to speak to one another in preparation, not just for disasters, but just because we were looking out for each other, i.e. minding each other business.
Right.
Okay?
Let's see
So
who this
I
is.
hope I can deliver that.
Let's see who this is. Maybe they have a question for you.
Sure.
Good morning, caller. You're on the air. You got 3 minutes.
Okay, my brethren, how are you doing? Let me go fast in the 3 minutes. I just came back from my 4-mile walk with my 3 dogs. And since they get a street that they can't go lay down, I said, well, let me come by the phone and see if you did it.
Yeah, we're here.
Anyway.
We have a guest in the studio from ARP. Miss
Oh, you have
Conwell.
ARP people. Okay, good
Yes.
morning, ARP people. I love the ARP people.
Good morning.
I am a member of ARP myself.
Okay.
American Association of Retired Persons, right?
Correct. Mhm.
Good.
Mhm.
Anyway, let me just get off them and listen to them. Then I will do that. I will reserve the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you
We
for
ain't banking
calling.
your time, man.
Thanks for the shout out.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, you know, and I have plans. I believe ARP will have plans to then convene with different communities to do their specific community mapping. I hope in my presentation to do an exercise with the people who attend so that they can even begin to look around their own homes. If I live here, where is the shelter? Where is the church? Where is the school? Where are giving out sandbags? You know, these are questions you need to know, and then you can put the map up and you know exactly where you're going. What transportation is available? Those kind of questions can't wait for the storm to be upon you. Okay, so it's about really also, like I said, getting communities to start talking again before disaster, blue sky time. You don't have to wait for the disaster to run down the street and say, hey, I need help up here. And you know, you should be already a community, and more importantly, a community that identifies those elders, folks that need help prior to, so that in the event of during the storm, they need to actually be at someone else's home until the worst of it passes, that they make those provisions. and then put them safely back in their place after the storm is gone. So there's so many ways that community asset mapping can be used to bring us together as a community and as an island and eventually as a territory. So I'm looking forward to being able to join these other esteemed presenters who have presented for us over the years and bring a little more of the grassroots touch to it, since I'm no longer I'm retired. Let's put it like that. I am truly a retired person at this point.
Well, you know, sometimes you retire and you work harder than when you're working.
I think that may be true, but you still have the authority and the requirement to balance it.
Mhm.
So you have to, be able to say no, not today, next month, or not now, next year. You just have to be able to balance what you really can do. Don't accept everything, and even if you accept it because you're overzealous and you really want to help, don't feel bad if you have to come back and say, "Hey, I was a little overzealous about this, and I don't really think I can give it my all, so I'll pull back." That's retired people need to understand that.
Well, my big sister just retired. She was like, when people were trying to rope her into some things, and she's like, nope. I gave the government 30 some years. I ain't taking it easy.
That's good.
She good for them.
That's good. As long as we have, I think, not only given our time, but ensured that someone was left behind with the knowledge that we passed on. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
And from time to time, I may get a call from somebody that's behind and they say, "Hey, tell me about this again. What happened? What do you think?" And that's the part that retired persons can play, who have been in these roles,
Yeah, advisory,
and so forth, advisory, mentors, etc.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So that's the wrap up of the Disaster Preparedness Summit. I think it was a good call on AARP to champion this and put it as a priority in the Virgin Islands. We saw just recently the Venezuela situation. Of course, we are now very, very concerned and trying to pull together some aid and support for them as well. But it is a reminder, it is a solid reminder about the impacts that can come from far away. Because I will tell you that when I got the tsunami advisory, and I'm supposed to be someone who knows this stuff, I did not know what I was that an advisory is not the same as a warning. I didn't know that. So I grabbed my granddaughter, jumped in my car, and drove for the hills. And then when I got on top of the hill, I was like, okay, I didn't hear the siren, and then it got canceled and went back down the hill. But I have to give Jack his jacket. When Darrell Jackson and Regina Brown came on Facebook, she made it very clear when the siren goes off is for warning. And that's when you head for the hills. Okay, an advisory is just be careful, watch out, get your bag ready in case. Okay, so, and then the siren, we don't have to hear a siren if you have an alert. So that's the other message, is get the alert notifications. It's too simple. Everybody got a phone.
Yeah.
Everybody from children to elderly.
I heard the thing go off. I'm like, okay, what is it? I said, okay. I said, I think about it. I said, you know what? Well, my dad dead.
No, you were supposed to call your network and see this is what we're going back. But this is what we're going back to. Mapping. No, this is what mapping means. Who do you call? May Carwell down the street. She's a short person. I know her number because she gave it out to everybody. I got it right there on the refrigerator. Let me call her. Can you do transportation to get me?
You know, this song like village operations. We need to get back to village operations. We need to start, knowing who to call in the village for what. And
Correct.
this mapping concept is fantastic. We just have, and the thing is, it's free. If you understand what I'm saying, you got to put on a whole. All you got to do is talk to people, coordinate, and identify people, in that context. And I know I done and Gerard Mapp, because when he wanted to go out to the music in Frederickstead, Christianstead, or whatever, he said, "Oh, okay, Doug on the map. I gonna call Doug, right?" But we taking it from beyond that to emergencies. You
Exactly.
gotta have your people who you're gonna call for emergencies or other related things, so that you can get the help. And I think that's a great idea. Um, and while I'm at it, May, I
Yeah.
just want to say I really like how you did your presentation today, in the context that, ARP is here doing things, and the way you just touched on those other two things. So it's like it brings people up to say, well, okay, you don't just show up to them and say, well, we want you to do this. You say, well, hey, we've been here doing this and we've been here doing that, and now we have something more for you, and this is what it is. And I say that a lot of community service organizations, very often when they come into the radio station, they jump right into what it is is the thing that's going on right now. And very often that organization has a history of activities in the community, so that little catch up. Well, remember we did this and we did that and so forth, and we're gonna have a part two and this, that, and the other. But
Mhm.
today, what we're talking about is ABC. I thought that was so great. Okay, in
Thank
terms
you.
of
Thank you.
the
Thank
community, and definitely so. Um,
Yeah.
it, we expect to be hearing more from ARP, and definitely passing the information out to the community.
Thank you, Doug. And I want to also say that it's not all work. Sometimes it's just fun. I mean, to be
Amen.
around the other members. For example, we did give some previous challenge grants, and we are responsible for helping with trails and the restoration of I forget what they call it, the greenhouse area over by botanical gardens and different things like that. So we gave the resources to do it, but then we don't go and enjoy it ourselves. So I actually invited some of the members. Let's just go down there and sit down and have lunch and bask in the sun. I
Hmm.
mean, it's not all work. It's about relationships and connecting, and of course sharing, because some of us don't want to share when we're in need. And if you're in need, you got to share if you want help. So I think that AARP is a wonderful way to do it. You can join the local chapter. They are actually on summer break right now, but I hope that it gets to a point where we don't have to do a summer break, even though a lot of people who are retired do travel. But year round, there are different things we're doing, and we just ask you to come out. We're at the fair, at fair. We're at the Bordeaux Farmers and Fair. We're all over. We try to make sure that you see us, and we do the movie for grown-ups. Although I wasn't quite interested in the scary movie 6 this time, but we did The Devil Wears Prada 2, and that was excellent. We had such a big turnout that we had to fill 2 theaters.
Okay.
So these are the things that we offer.
What time does the movie start?
Well, it's usually, that's a good question, because it's usually in the evening. And some of the folks were like, that's too late. I don't drive at night. The lights and this, that, and the other. So the last time they actually did a matinee, I can't remember if it was on the Saturday or Sunday, but they did an earlier showing just to allow folks who would not normally come out in the night to attend. So we listen. We have voices, and everyone has a voice, and we listen. And to the point that we can resolve or find a way to work it out, we're gonna work it out.
You guys, who's the contact over there? Because I'm trying to contact someone.
Okay.
Uh,
Now, when you say over there, let's be clear. There's a state office. Okay, there's a state office at Sunny Isle, and they do specific things that are not necessarily. They have restrictions because they're an office that reports to the nation, to the national rather. We have a local chapter.
No, not ARP.
Oh, What do you mean?
I talked about the cinema office.
Oh, the cinema office.
Yeah,
What were you
because
asking about?
I was trying to get in touch with somebody over there because I wanted to ask someone a question about the audio description for persons who are visually impaired, or the number they have online don't work. I
Okay.
send them an email, I got no response.
I'll make a note.
And I was like, I don't know.
I'll make a note.
Who running this place?
Well, it's so funny you bring it up, and I know that's not why I'm here.
I know. But since you mentioned
Yeah,
you guys are dealing with the matinee and stuff like that.
I'm just learning that a lot of the activity at Caribbean Cinema is controlled out of the Puerto Rico Caribbean Cinema's office.
Okay.
That Devil Wears Prada, for example, because we had such a big turnout, we weren't able to provide the free meals that we normally provide based on our budget. So I went out into the community and was able to get a donation. And in order to make that happen, I had to call the Puerto Rico office to tell them that I had a check and would like to pay for meals for that night. I didn't walk into our Caribbean Cinema and handle that. There was a gentleman over there that does, I guess, their promotions or whatever. And so he handled everything. Trust me, he did a good job. He even gave us a discount. But I also understand that when we have glitches in the theater, the system is controlled from Puerto Rico. So I know several people might have been in the theater when the screen went blank and they had to give them refunds and they left and things like that, or they went into another theater to watch it a later time. So I don't think calling the theater number here is going to help you, but I have the number for the person I spoke to in Puerto Rico, so I can certainly give that to you as a start, and he should be able to direct you.
Okay.
Yeah. But getting back to the AARP in the community, we would like others to get involved. Back in the day, you used to have a ton of folks involved. And I just want everybody to know we're trying to stretch again. So come to the meetings when they start back up. We'll do a better job of advertising and getting the word out. But right now we're meeting over by, and now I'm going to get in trouble. Maybe Doug could help me, or you. It's over by the ballpark. It's named after someone I just can't remember. The ballpark by the road to Hovenza, as you leave Saniel coming down on the left. Yeah, so they meet there, and it's once a month, but I don't have the date for when they start back up. There's a name for it, and somebody may be able to call in and tell us what it is.
I think it was Pedro Cruz.
I don't think it was that simple a name, but
I remember the name, but no, it's not coming.
So that's where the local team meets. Chapter. I just attended for the first time at the last meeting before they broke for the summer. Nice little group, but certainly we could, use some additional people. Maybe some of them were already off island, is why it wasn't, a lot of folks. But right now, one of the things we're trying to do is support Juan Luis Hospital with the local chapter, because we had heard in the press about their needs for certain products. And we reached out and we're waiting for a list to come. I understand the last update was they were waiting for 2 other departments to see what they needed. And then they would give it to the local chapter, and to the best of our ability, we would donate either the product or cash to buy the product. Again, while some may sit back and say, this is not our responsibility, they need to manage the money better or whatever have you, there are people being impacted right now. And so if you have the ability, that's solution. That's solution. Solutions might not be the final solution, but it's the interim solution. Let's help the people who need the help.
Well, it is 10 a.m.
Oh, my time is up.
Our time is up.
Our time is up. Okay.
So there's no,
Thank
you see
you.
the marshal coming in to evict us.
Okay. Thank you for having us, AARP here. And I would like to thank AARP for the confidence in having me represent them here today. And those of you who have my number, please do reach out if you have any questions. And those of you who don't, you can call here at the station and they'll give you my number. Thank you very much.
Okay, and thank you for coming. And any information you need to send to me, you could send it to Doug.
Okay, I will do.
And yeah.
Okay.
So Dougie,
Oh, he's off.
oh, he's gone.
Okay.
Oh wow, he didn't even tell me anyway.
That's funny.
You see how bad he treat me? We have we have come full circle. It's another ending of Reflections on WSTX AM 970. Doug and Jerry saying peace out. Have a wonderful and fruitful holiday weekend. Don't get in no trouble.